In this video, we will look at an arithmetic sequence, and I will help you write the explicit and the recursive equation. So when you look at a sequence, the first thing you want to do is figure out how it's changing. So from here to here, I can tell that I'm adding 3. And I'm adding 3 again. So you want to make sure that you check this for every single number in your list, because it has to be the same. And because we're adding or subtracting a constant, in this case it's 3, that's what makes it arithmetic. Okay, so let's look at our explicit equation. So the explicit equation is the one that's going to tell us how to find the value of any term we want. And the value of a term, we use t of n to show us the value of the term. So the value of the term is going to be equal to, now there's two parts that go into this. Number one, we need to know what it's changing by, which we already figured out. We're adding 3 every time. The other thing we need to know is, where do we start? What's our initial value? The very first number you see, this is your first term. That makes sense. First term is the first number I see. So in order to find the initial value, or the 0 term, I have to go backwards. So let's double check if 0 plus 3 is 3, and it is. So what we need is, it works just like y equals mx plus b. It's changing by 3 every time, so this is 3n plus 0. That's my explicit equation. Let's look at your recursive. The recursive equation is the one that tells us how to get to the next term. And the way we write the next term is like this. T of n plus 1. So t of n, that's the previous term. This is the next term. The plus 1 gets us to the next one. So in order to get to the next term, I'm sure you could tell me in words, we're looking at the previous term, and then we're going to add 3. So we call the previous term t of n, and then we add 3. It's that easy. Looks a little bit tricky, but it's honestly easier. Okay, the next thing we need, there's a second part to the recursive. So I know that I need to take the term before it and add 3, but I can't do that unless I know where to start. So we also need this part. Tell me what the first term is so that I know where to start adding 3. I know term 1 is 3, and then add 3, term 2 is 6, term 3 is 9, and so on. And there you go.